In 2026, a 35-year-old former rapper named Balendra Shah, better known as Belen, stepped up to a microphone in a black coat, traditional topi, and dark sunglasses to take the oath of office as Nepal's youngest prime minister. This animated diagram breaks down the seating arrangement of Nepal's House of Representatives. Out of 275 available seats, Shah's Rashtriya Swatantra Party, or RSP, captured 182 of them, represented here in blue. It is a near supermajority mandate. The incoming administration treated the transition like a corporate sprint. They immediately published a structured 100-day action plan, committing to execute 100 specific, measurable decisions to bypass standard bureaucratic delays. With absolute control of the legislature, Shah's party does not have to rely on coalition compromises to pass laws. They are launching a radical centrist experiment with the explicit goal of dismantling the country's traditional political order. For the previous 36 years, Nepal's government operated as a closed loop. A small cadre of legacy politicians maintained a tight grip on state institutions, trading power back and forth through fragile coalitions marked by deep-seated corruption scandals and constant legislative gridlock. The friction finally broke during a series of massive youth-led protests. Millions of Gen Z citizens took to the streets, facing down water cannons to demand total transparency and the dissolution of the political syndicate that controlled the capital. The RSP emerged directly from that street-level chaos. Their official election symbol was a man ringing a bell, a literal rallying cry designed to wake up the electorate and demand strict accountability from state officers. Voters handed the RSP a mandate to actively hunt and dismantle the bureaucratic machinery that allowed the old guard syndicate to thrive. The most aggressive weapon in the RSP's anti-corruption effort is directed at the wealth of legacy politicians. The administration immediately launched retroactive asset probes targeting senior political office holders and high-ranking government officials. This timeline visualizes the scope of those probes. Instead of limiting the scope to recent transactions, the committee is systematically reopening corruption files and investigating financial records all the way back to the political changes of 1990. This visual shows how the sprawling, tangled federal government structure simplifies down to just 17 federal ministries, reducing duplicate departments and speeding up public service delivery. The government also issued an executive directive abolishing all party-affiliated trade unions and student organizations. Civil servants, teachers, and professors are now strictly banned from engaging in any partisan politics. These rapid administrative purges improve daily government efficiency, while permanently severing the financial and bureaucratic networks that kept the traditional politicians insulated from consequences. Beyond immediate purges, the RSP is targeting the rules of governance itself. Historically, Nepal's parliament produced a revolving door of fragile, easily manipulated coalition governments that rarely completed a full legislative term. To counter this, the administration is pushing constitutional amendments to transition the country to a directly elected executive system. Instead of parliament members negotiating in back rooms, citizens will choose their prime minister directly at the ballot box. They are also introducing a right-to-recall policy. This gives citizens a legal mechanism to remove underperforming or corrupt members of parliament before their official term expires. The legislative blueprint shifts the country to a fully proportional parliament and abolishes provincial assemblies entirely, cutting out expensive structures that functioned as dumping grounds for political loyalists. By rewriting these electoral rules, the new government removes the leverage of traditional party bosses. They are legally mandating stability by putting the power to hire and fire leaders entirely in the hands of the voting public. Economically, the RSP operates on a model they call constitutional socialism. It pairs aggressive free market deregulation and foreign investment with digital-first startup creation to drive rapid, expansive private sector growth. Their radical tax policy drops the lowest 12.5% of earners to a zero tax liability, allowing them to retain their wealth. Simultaneously, they enforce a heavy social safety net, represented by this shield, requiring private hospitals to allocate 10% of their beds free of charge. At the local level, the government is establishing food banks in every ward, issuing ration cards for nutritional assistance, and building the infrastructure required for a national single-payer healthcare system. The strategy relies on generating massive wealth through a highly competitive free market, and then directly using those resources to fund a highly empathetic, inescapable social safety net. Over the next 10 years, the Shah administration aims to transform this dense Kathmandu sprawl and the rest of Nepal into a fully digitized middle-income country. To reach that goal, they are attempting to run a sovereign nation-state with the speed, strict meritocracy, and operational agility of a tech startup. While a structural upheaval of this magnitude carries immense risk, returning to the old syndicate guarantees continued economic and political stagnation. If Nepal can cure its own political decay using this blend of tech-driven efficiency and constitutional socialism, their specific blueprint becomes an operational playbook for frustrated democracies all over the world.